Should Nigerians be bothered about what happened, like the Shoprite thing? Because the whole narrative right now, because it's now a political thing. The PDP supporters believe that that's a result of Buhari's his inability to control our economy and make our economy better. That's why foreign companies are pulling out. APC supporters believe it's just usual, economy, like the economy is hard everywhere. Companies are evaluating, the strategy and everything and the finances. That it has nothing to do with Buhari's economic policy. But if, in your own opinion, what do you think is the truth to this issue?
It's a bit of everything. I think that doing business in Nigeria is difficult.
Yeah.
Supply chain disruption. The dollar the naira
Currency,
is weakening.
currency fluctuations.
The naira has been devalued, so it's difficult. Very very difficult to run that kind of retail business in Nigeria because of all of those things. And then look at our Papa as a port.
Yeah.
How difficult it is to get your goods
out there
from the port. And whether we like it or not, we are still an import dependent economy. Shoprite is not living like totally. They are selling to Nigerian investors. We don't know if they will retain, if the name will be retained or not. But going forward, it looks like after probably about 5 years, the South Africans will hand over the business to Nigerians, and
they're looking to sell to Nigerian investors.
They're looking to sell to Nigerian investors. Yeah. So if you read their statement, they were saying they want to discontinue their Nigerian operations, but it will be a gradual process. But at the end of the day, I think that the South Africans are leaving, which was what happened with Mr. Price, Truworths, Woolworths, and all of that. Yeah. So all of those things, the COVID-19 pandemic, how difficult it is to do business in Nigeria, and everything in between. Everything is why Shoprite.
But why do politics make people blind to like basic facts? Because I was reading something recently and I jotted them down, but I failed to to keep them. I think I deleted them later on my computer. But it was a UN report of 2012. Talking about countries with economic buoyancy, like the country the economy is growing and the ones that are not growing. So they linked it with difficulty in importation, the political factors affecting foreign business, things like that. And if you look at that report that the UN did, and you just oppose it with what's happening in Nigeria and why Nigeria is failing. Okay, yeah, it was developed countries, developing economy and failing economies, right? Everything they listed about failing economy, which in Nigeria we can consider Nigeria a failing economy. Everything they listed there applies to Nigeria, which is difficulty in importation, the effects of politics, effect of government actions on businesses.
Their policies. Because
they can wake up today. Buhari woke up one day and said he was going to ban rice, importation of rice. That affected businesses, things like that. Why are these things not open to, why are people not accepting the fact just because they support Buhari or they don't support Buhari? Why are they blind to these facts?
Yeah, it's the way politics is across the world. Politics is where you try to make yourself look good and make the opponent look bad. I think that's the way the game is.
Yeah.
But let's tell ourselves the truth. Look at how bad our roads are.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I know how difficult it is to navigate.
The transport,
to come from Apapa, for instance. Yeah. How difficult it is. People living in Apapa, sometimes I wonder, how do they survive? Look at how bad the road from Tinkan, for instance, is to Apapa. Now, if I hear that it could take you 3 months sometimes to clear goods.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to do business in a country like that?
Cases where things maybe you bring in perishable goods and they get rotten before you even get them. It has happened several times.
Yeah, so let's tell ourselves the truth. It's not easy doing business in Nigeria. And if Shoprite is bailing, it's because it's very difficult. I mean, there are people who will say, oh, Shoprite is doing well, they are making money. But I don't think that, I'm looking at it from their perspective. If you are really, really comfortable doing business in a country, you won't want to sell. You won't want to sell.
I'm also uncomfortable with this narrative against foreign-owned businesses that people who support this government also, talk about a lot. Oh, buy Nigeria to grow the naira, this and that and this. I don't think anybody is against, the success of local companies, right? But going against, trying to pull down foreign-owned companies just because you want local ones to grow, I don't think is the right way to go.
It's nonsense, actually.
Yeah.
It's called protectionism. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
The world is it's called a global village.
There's globalization everywhere.
Yeah, you should be able to do business and make money wherever it is. As it's competition. If the local market can outcompete the foreign ones, fine. I know right now that there are a lot of retail businesses in Lagos, for instance, or in Nigeria, who are doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Who are doing better than Shoprite in terms of service, environment, atmosphere, and all of that. They are still there are people who prefer, for instance, a banner to Shoprite or Mr. Palms, right? That's what they're called, or Palm, whatever it is, to Shoprite. So. Shoprite, there are a lot of people who still will have loved Shoprite to remain, and there are people who go to Shoprite, they can't find what they get, and they're like, oh, you guys are just big for nothing. People will always, the market is about competition. So this whole thing of saying, let's make our local ones grow and kill foreign ones, it doesn't make sense in an increasingly globalized world, because the world is a global village. You should be able to do business anywhere, and if local production is better, which is why I had a problem with the local content policy that says you have to buy local, you must buy local rice. While it is true that we import a lot of local rice, I think we will have made it in such a way that the local rice should be able to compete favorably with the foreign ones. If you want foreign rice, if foreign rice is your choice, if that's what you like eating, you buy it.
Yeah. And
increase the quality of local rice and make people also buy. So it's about, for me, it's about free market. That's
and it's also, I think it's also a case of chasing something and leaving the other things. Like, before doing all these things, I think the favorable conditions for businesses to grow in Nigeria should have been completed. Can 90% or 95% of the country boast of 18 power electricity?
That's another issue.
18-hour electricity all over the country. Okay, have we been able to do that? Okay, yeah, we've done that. Have we been able to link all the commercial cities in this country via train system? Oh yes, we've been able to do that. So that sorts out logistics, transportation, distribution of goods. Have we been able to sort out security? I'm not scared that if I go to Borno now to open a business and Boko Haram will chase me away, things like that. We've been able to solve this business. Okay, now we've solved these three issues: power, logistics, that's distribution, transportation, and electricity and security. Fine. Let's now let's bring a favorable laws to make sure that local companies are growing. You can actually go and ban importation of rice. No one will care, because the local farmers, they have lights, they have electricity to generate whatever they want to generate. They have distribution network to distribute all over the country, and it's easy for them. But you've not been able to do these things, and the first thing you want to do is ban importation of rice, so that foreign companies don't bring rice anymore. Then local companies can start with that, first solving the challenges of the local companies.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. You have to first deal with the basics. Make roads accessible. There are a lot of villages in this country where they cannot transport farm produce to the market because the roads are bad. So you have places, for instance, that have perishable goods, perishable farm produce like tomatoes, pepper, that just get rotten in the farm because cars cannot go through to get those produce to the market. So we are starting to run before learning how to crawl. Yeah, that's the point you're making. I think it's a very good point. There's no other country in the world, I stand to be corrected, that runs its economy on generator.
Nope.
There's no other country.
It's impossible.
We are a peculiar country. We run an economy of 200 million people on gas guzzling generators from morning to night. There's no other country where this is happening. Yeah. And every day you are talking about ease of doing business. It's ridiculous. Because the main ease of doing business, fix your power sector. Since 1960, this country has not been able to fix its power sector. And you are saying you are making the environment conducive for business. How? Yeah. It's not possible. Yeah. So it's a joke. We have to, if we want to hold government to account, we have to stress, we have to ask for these basic things. Roads, power, they're not there. And you want the likes of Shoprite. How will you make profit when every day you're buying diesel? to run your shop. I mean, the profit margin, whether you like it or not, will be slim.
Yeah.
So it's a miracle that businesses are even coming to this country to say they want to set up, because everything is screaming, everything is difficult. Everything, Nigeria just makes you want to run, to disappear, because everything is difficult in this country. And this is 50-something years of our existence, and we cannot fix the power sector.
Yeah.
We can't generate and distribute 5,000 megawatts of electricity successfully. This is something smaller countries are doing without even thinking about it. So we are a shame to the Committee of Nations. We're a big shame.
So what happens if they don't get, like, what would a Nigerian investor, what's attractive about Shoprite right now, for a Nigerian investor? Because the buying power of the middle class, which they primarily serve, is winning by the day in Nigeria, right? Like, let's not deceive ourselves. Like, it's really, really winning. It's very, very difficult. So what's attractive about that? Because retail businesses across the world, even in booming economies like Target is reducing shops every day in United States of America. So what's the attractive thing about a business like Shoprite?
For Nigerians.
For Nigerian investors.
I think what works for us, what people who want to come here to do business look at, is the population. I don't know if that figure is actually correct, but I mean, statistics say we are 200 million people. Sometimes I don't believe it, but that's what the data says. So when you have a 200 million market, you look at it and say, oh, no matter how bad it is, people want to buy this. People want to buy it, and that's what they're looking at. But like you rightly said, the purchasing power of the average is
going down.
I think the dollar now goes for 500 naira to a dollar. That's ridiculous. That means if you were earning 300,000 naira 5 months ago, that money is like next to none, because we practically import everything almost everything we consume. So we always have to peg what the amount we have in the bank against the dollar, and it keeps weakening because there's inflation. Inflation is now about 12 point something percent. So the Nigerians are broke, whether you like it or not. There's no middle class in this country anymore. We have the high class and the very low class. So the economy is in tatters, and let's be honest with ourselves. When oil stopped selling, this country suffered in terms of the fact that we cannot, the forex, foreign exchange, everything just got weak, and that means that we're all very, very broke right now, including the federal government, as it were.
Who are the biggest spenders?
Yeah, we're the biggest spenders. So people who want to do business will always think that, maybe it will get better because these people have a very massive population. It's a very, very big market. And that's why people want to come here to do business. But at the same time, we have to make the environment conducive for them, so that, because if not, we'll get to a point where even the local and it's happening. A lot of local companies are closing shop. Because it's difficult. We make it very, very difficult to do business in this country.
I agree. But apart from also talking about the ease of doing business, like being security, whatever, the ports, what are some of the economic mistakes do you think that Buhari did that affected everybody?
I think we did not diversify quickly enough, even though he kept saying
he kept talking about it, to diversify from oil.
We're still depending a lot on oil. I mean, kudos to the government. They've tried to do a lot in terms of agriculture and the rest, and they're trying to do some work with trains, the infrastructure and all of that, but it's not sufficient. Any government, I keep telling people, any government, any administration that can come in and fix power right now, you've done it. You've opened the economy. So why is it so difficult that other countries are doing it? You ask yourself. All our neighbors are generating the electricity, and why is it rocket science for Nigeria to fix electricity? And then we have all other things like roads. Just fix the roads. Is it so difficult to fix roads? So these are the little things I think he will have have to. And then there's corruption. Even though some people will argue that corruption is actually good for the economy, I know you hold that view sometimes.
Not really.
A little corruption is good for some people. Some economists will tell you that a little corruption is good for the. I don't know how that works.
Not really. I don't agree. I just feel also that the cost of running government is still also very expensive.
It's too expensive. Yeah. We talked about it one time. We have 400 and something lawmakers in Abuja that we have to feed, clothe, we have to pay for their petrol. They are living at our expense.
The security, the house rent,
and everything. And that's replicated across the 36 states where we have the houses of assembly. And then we have governors, we have councillors, we have chairmen, all of this. At taxpayer, we have so many civil servants. So at the end of the day, when you look at the budget, recurrent always outweighs capital expenditure. So it's a ridiculous arrangement from top to bottom that we run. So it's too expensive. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So there must be some way for us to benefit now. If the government is saying foreign businesses are bad for economy, everybody should pack up and go. Now NBC or something. They picked up fights with DSTV one time about some unfavorable laws that they want to do in Nigerian Broadcasting Commission. So if they keep talking about they keep going against foreign companies, is this an opportunity for Nigerians to pick up the pieces and start running things themselves?
It's not easy now. If any Nigerian firm, for instance, wanted to compete with DSTV, why is it taking so long for that company? Where is that company?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, in all of these years, why has nobody come to challenge multi-choice in the pay TV market?
So it's more than even chasing them. It's more than chasing them away. If you chase them away, nobody can even.
We had a few. We had High TV, for instance, didn't last. As soon as they lost the rights to football, they disappeared. Yeah. Because it's about content. High TV could not provide the content. So kudos to multi-choice. The fact that they have even remained in business in Nigeria for this long
is something to be. Yeah, it's kudos to them.
It's difficult to provide the kind of content for 16,000 naira that they do that they provide against the fact that the naira is weakened against the dollar. They've done very well. If it were that easy to another company will have come to challenge them, but it's not.
People keep thinking it's just about the Premier League, and it's more than that. It's really more than that, because even when High TV had Premier League rights, people had High TV and DSTV. Yeah. Because they couldn't do away with the DSTV because of the content on DSTV. So for me, I think, let's just understand what we want to practice. Do we want to practice capitalism or nationalism? Like what do we want to do? Let's stick to one so that everybody will know, this is what we're doing right now. So that the common man can know that if I'm setting up a business, the government is not going to wake up tomorrow and bring up a policy that's going to affect me, things like that.
Unless if we really want to say, we keep saying every day that we want to liberalize our economy. It shouldn't be just something you say. Practice it. Allow people to do business. Make the conditions favorable for people to do business.
Not looking for ways to tax us to death.
Then when people are successful, the government, like you said, the government just comes with one policy. Look at what happened with the Okada ban. Even though I was of the view that a city like Lagos shouldn't be run on Okadas, but the people who were doing it right, the bike hailing services that were doing it right with uniforms, obeying speed limits, like they were obeying the laws, not like the ragtag ones. Why did you ban them as well? So that was the contentious part for me. We had the ride-hailing services who respected traffic lights, who respected traffic laws, who had uniforms. You could identify them. So why ban them with the rest of the other ones who just wake up and just take a bike and hit the road? So I think they will have left those bike-hailing services. You destroyed them. You put a lot of people out of jobs, a lot of unemployment, and at the same time you say you want to create employment, and that's like how many people who lost jobs in February. So
a lot.
Government policies are something else.
Okay, we're leaving government alone. We're talking about what happened in Enugu, with the violence at the election, the Nigerian Medical Association of Nigeria, National
Medical Association,
Nigerian NMA, the Enugu branch. We saw videos coming out from that election. It wasn't encouraging at all. So the thing is, right now is it's clear that we Nigerians, we're just the same, not government, nothing. Because if a branch of an association that is not even up to 1 million people or something all over the world, all over the country, can just be having an election and be fighting over it. That means what the government is doing is just a reflection of us, the people.
Yeah, the government is a reflection of the people. Even the NBA, Nigeria Bar Association election.
Same thing.
People were saying it was rigged.
Yeah.
If you rigged Nigeria Bar Association election, then you have no right to blame INEC because
it's Basbos.
It's more difficult because they are conducting the election on a wide scale.
Yeah.
NMA, Nigeria, like you said, Enugu chapter, and they were using bottles and
they're stabbing people
and daggers. And I saw one, I don't know if it's a doctor, but he had blood splattered all over his face.
The head,
Ballot boxes were destroyed. This is not Enugu state election. This is Nigeria Medical Association election.
Yeah.
So in our individual levels, in our smaller levels in the country, it's difficult to manage ourselves.
Yeah. So it's even hypocritical to even come out and call out government every time.
Yeah.
Because we've not shown as a people that we can even handle things ourselves.
No, we cannot.
If the NBA election is being marred with accusation of malpractice, I don't know how true is that. The medical doctors, people who went to school for 6 years, did housemanship.
7 years.
Sometimes. 7 years. People who thought are responsible.
Can be 10 years.
I didn't even know that doctors could fight. Let alone stab someone in an election. So it's really not encouraging at all as Nigerians, and it leaves no hope for me as a person that this particular set of governments is our problem, or when a new one enters, something will be done. I don't think that's the case anymore. It's just a case of all of us just being just being violent.
Vibes and inshallah.
Oh no, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay. So international flights opening up. Although there'll be international flights.
Yeah, for the likes of I wanted to say Naira Marley, then I remembered that it's just Abuja.
Yeah, the video was in America recently.
Okay.
Yeah, someone Michael Blackson, a comedian, even put it up and said he asked Davido how he managed to travel out of Nigeria when there was a lockdown. He said, "Man, I'm Nigerian."
Yeah.
That was Davido's reported alleged response to his question.
And some of your footballer friends. You don't want to talk about it. It's fine. They were in Nigeria and they're traveling back.
Yeah, so a lot of people, a couple of people have been traveling. Even private citizens have been traveling too. I know a lot of people who have also traveled.
But for the airspace has been shut since March.
But they're planning now to. Local flights have since resumed. We've not gotten any reports of. We've not gotten any bad reports so far from everything. Everything has been going on smoothly in terms of the security checks, the medical checks. Things have been going on well. Although I have not traveled to know how hectic it is at the airport. But international flights coming back gives us a sense of normalcy that 100% things are happening.
We need those international flights to resume because, like I said before, we need to open up our economy. If you listen to Lagos governor talking, someone was saying, look, we have to look for a way to balance the lives of people and livelihoods. Because let's face it, we can't close our economy because we have a pandemic. Yeah. We're not like other developed. We
are even suffering.
We live from day to day.
The developed countries are even suffering.
Suffering as well.
We saw Americans going. We saw Americans. 22 million people filing for employment checks.
Yeah,
that is basically applying for government to give them money because they're unemployed.
Yeah.
22 million people. So everybody's
suffering from this pandemic.
Yeah.
And worse, the worst hit are developing economies like Nigeria, because we still have a long way to go. So we need those international flights to resume. We need people to be able to travel from one place to another. Because
it goes along with the
imagine how many people have lost jobs.
Yeah, because they couldn't travel.
In the aviation sector, for instance, look at Air Peace the other day. Sacking 70.
Was that because of, or just because? I thought that was from another reason, maybe a protest.
No. It was the pandemic.
Okay.
Because people weren't flying, so they sacked 70 pilots and reduced the salaries of staff by 40%, and that's happening across the world. Even Virgin Atlantic filed for bankruptcy.
They filed for bankruptcy.
So if the aviation sector,
even now sacked 55 people.
I don't give
They don't
about
care.
Arsenal.
Everybody, even the big corporations are suffering.
Yeah,
so.
everybody's suffering. So let everybody just wear their mask. Everybody obey the safety precaution, and let's open up the economies. Not just in Nigeria, across the world. People need to get back to work. People need to get back to business. Forget about just end this curfew of 10 p.m. It doesn't, especially in Lagos. Who gets home? A lot of people find it difficult to get home before 10 p.m. So end it.
But it's still on because they increased the lockdown.
Yeah, they increased it by another 4 weeks. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
So everybody must go out.
Because you can't tell me that coronavirus is active between the hours of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It defies logic at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Just allow people to move about.
I'm also happy that Lagos State policemen and whatever it is, they're not really that serious with it. Because I've been home.
They are.
For real?
Yeah, the only thing that saved me last week was because of my press. They
are.
At 10 o'clock, there are roadblocks across Lagos. It works. Yeah, last
For
week.
Real?
So the volume of cars on the roads reduces.
But then the whole market opens to the market does not open to. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Let Ladipo open the way it was.
Yeah.
Let food markets,
computer
grocery market. Let them.
Yeah.
We need to get,
because people are hungry. These guys are at home not doing anything.
When we talk about reviving the economy, these are some of the things we are talking about.
So
let people get back to
doing
business.
Doing that for another 4 weeks does not make sense.
Yeah, so today, sometimes you don't even know where to go to the market. You're asking yourself first. Are they open today? Are they open tomorrow? No, come on.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's stop all of this.
Yeah.
Why are we deceiving?
We even have to. There's no sense behind that thing now, because. What's the sense what's the logic behind telling people to come to a market on Monday? Don't come on Tuesday.
You want to curb the spread of the virus. And then let schools open. For goodness sake, we're a country where we have 30 million or thereabout out of school children. And you have been closing schools since
March. Schools have partially opened, but
not, just for exit classes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of teachers who teach in private schools, they don't have money.
Bro,
they've not been paid since March, because the proprietor will tell you you're not teaching
anybody. You're working. Because people are not even paying school fees.
So, and these teachers are some of the biggest spenders in the economy. Because if they are not paid, how do they go to the market to shop? So, when we say we are closing schools, there's a multiplier effect on teachers,
on everybody.
All of us. Let's open schools. Let's look for a way to make sure that
parents are even spending more on
feeding. So some of these things I think what is happening, we are copying from what's happening in the West or in internationally. But we can't replicate everything.
Like you said before, vibes on inshallah.
Yeah, we are a country where the level of education is pretty low. So. Let's open schools. We need to educate our children. Teachers need to eat. Nobody's even thinking about the teachers. It's amazing. Teachers need to eat. They need to feed themselves. Most lecturers haven't been paid since March.
Even in government universities.
The federal government is withholding their pay. How do you expect these people to survive for 3 months now? Come on now.
Running up. Prayers up for everyone in Southern Cardinal.
Yeah, the violence there has been going on for far too long. And it started a long time ago. It's not just a recent thing.
It's not a recent thing, like a long time ago.
There's a lot of politics and religiosity that underpins this violence. I just hope that someday the federal government, working in concert with the Kaduna state government, can find a solution. Because people are losing their lives
and their homes
on a weekly basis on their homes. We need to stop. It needs to stop.
Every people, guys. See you next week.